The creation of DDAs, or District Development Authorities, well intended, may now be in conflict with provincial governments in the use of monies and services and development in the districts.
I think it's about alignment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If the local MP alliance is or development aspirations for his or her district properly with the governor through a proper plan, like I develop every year a 5-year development plan for Vanimo Green River District, and I make sure that it's aligned with the provincial government plan.
The governor's plans.
The governor's plan. Mm-hmm. So some of the projects that I will fund, and if governor is going to fund as well, so we counterpart fund.
Well, that's the unique arrangement that should have. It's not necessarily happening.
It's not, because there's a conflict between the governor and the open members.
Yeah, the different parties, different beliefs.
Exactly.
That's it's a bit of a sad thing, but anyway, it's something that PNG party will look into.
I want to bring back the systems that worked.
Okay. I want to. I need to ask you this. You are today sometimes alone in the opposition. You're pretty loud with issues. You're pointed with what you need to say to check the government, have the government on its toes to do things. Given all that, and I guess since independence, you've been the longest in the opposition as opposition leader. You want to become prime minister. You've served the country in the defense force in Bougainville. You've served there. You went to jail for it. You've come out. You're continuing. And you want to become prime minister after the 2022 election. But there is one nagging question that I will have to ask you. And that is this. In 2012, you marched to the National and Supreme Court.
Yes.
Will that, do you think, affect you in trying to achieve your highest political level?
I think that particular issue is now been resolved by the courts. That is no longer an issue. And if you want to look back, I've done in the humane way and through Melanesian culture, apologize to the various people, including late Grand Chief, my father.
Yes.
The founding father of our country, late Grand Chief Sir Michael Tomasumari. I've also apologized to the former Chief Justice, Sir Salomo Njia. And courts have already cleared me. And in the final ruling, the courts even said that I'm the paragon of cooperation with the judicial system. So I don't see as this thing as something that will weigh me down. I think it's the thing of the past.
Your conscience is clear on
My
this.
conscience is clear. What I did then, I believe what I did has now been resolved. And what I look forward to now is how to run the country.
Okay.
And I do not want to, weigh myself down on the issues of the past. I want to look forward from here.
Okay. If after this election you become the prime minister, give me at least 5 points that you would do immediately as prime minister.
Well, number one is amend the constitution, give 1/10 of the national budget to the churches, God first policy. Number two, of course, is making sure that every citizen of this country have access to free basic health and free education. And number 3 and 4, I want to take back the night from the people. Give them the light to providing our citizens access to electricity. Papua New Guinea is so rich with many flowing rivers. Why we waste money on diesel-powered generators?
Go into hydro.
Oh, go with the hydro. You build one hydro, you can address the issues. You kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You provide water, you provide electricity. I want to take back the night from the people and give them the light. And that's one of my biggest dreams and aspirations when I become the Prime Minister. And I don't think it will cost much to build mini hydros throughout the country. And in provinces where they are living close to the equator, we build solar farms. Yeah, we are worrying about diesel power generators. We can build solar farms. We are in the equator. So you have two options there. And you have the third option. We have gas. It is nothing wrong talking to Exxon or Total to put aside certain TCF,
Yeah.
1 or 2 TCFs, basically for domestic consumption, providing electricity. It's there. But our prime ministers are not negotiating it. You have to go to the table and talk to these people. And I'm sure they are willing. They are willing to provide. Why are we worried about exporting only? We must reserve certain amount of TCFs for local consumption through electricity.
Yes.
So you have there in this country 3 already available means of providing power, electricity to our people, and water. Electricity, 3 options: hydro, solar, and gas.
Yes.
So when you have the electricity, any citizens living out in the rural area, when they do their catch fishing, or when they kill a deer, like in Western Province, they'll be able to refrigerate it and then take it to the nearest market for sale. So you are providing that opportunity. And also for our children, if there is electricity in Maramuni, that child, which is now only have 8 hours of learning, will extend his or her hours of learning in the night. So he or she will have the equal opportunity like a child living in the towns and cities. It's achievable.
We just have to focus on it and get our resources right and
Exactly.
get our mind right with that.
You see,
That's 4. What's the 5th one?
The 5th one, and I want to say this, I want to make a major resource law revolution in the country. See, our current resource laws are based on Crown law, where we are only entitled to 6 feet underground. I want to change all that. And I want to remove the state completely from being an equity participant. Now we have state, like in the hydrocarbon industry, we are entitled to 22.5%. And state holds the equity for on behalf of the landowners and provincial government and the independent state of Papua New Guinea. I want to amend the laws, remove the state completely as the equity participant. We allow the landowners to come and negotiate the project with the developer.
Uh-huh.
The
And the
landowners,
state becomes just a facilitator.
the state becomes the regulator and tax collector.
Yeah.
Right now, what we are having in our country is the state is becoming the player and referee at the same time in the rugby field. Where do you get that? Huh? Where do you get that? I want to get rid of that. I want state to be just the referee and collect the gate fees
Yeah.
in the rugby
Make
match.
sure a try is scored for the landowners a little bit.
I tell you, if we do this, Mr. Eggins and Papua New Guinea, those who are watching, if we do this, we're going to remove this unnecessary interference by the state. You look at Papua LNG. By now, it should have started the feed phase and into the development states. What happened? Peter O'Neill government, where James Marape was the chief financial advisor as the finance minister, signed that agreement with ExxonMobil and with Total to commence Papua LNG. James Marape came in and stopped that project. We already committed ourselves as a state. We shouldn't stop it. Let it go ahead. What did we stop? We stopped 13 billion foreign direct investment
Okay.
into the country. And
That's
what
the-
have we done? We have lost our jobs. We have stopped our small contractors to be able to get contracts from the projects in its feed phase. And we have stalled everything. If we have this law that I am proposing in the resource sector, where the landowners come on the negotiation table, sign the agreement with the state, with the developer, and state just be there as a regulator and tax collector, I tell you, there will be no interference. And I believe that our foreign development partners will be happy with this because there is no bureaucratic red tapes or interference by politicians. And I think it's rightfully so. We are meant to be stewards of our land and to maximize the benefits of the resources that we have. And going back to the Bible again, to the foundation.
Okay.
Going back to the Bible. God already declared that in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 to 28. That you are stewards over this land and you maximize the benefits of the resources that you need to benefit from. So if we give this back to the resource owners, and if it means, Mr. Eggins, if it means there are 1,000 clan members in this particular oilhead where the oil has been taken out or gas has been harvested, if it's only 1,000 people, and they are going to make 150 billion US dollars, so be it. They are Papua New Guineans. Allow them to be. They will pay tax to the independent state of Papua New Guinea. Allow them to be. You see? And then we will have a mechanism that's in place to ensure that we help the landowners as to the management of those funds, and it's reinvested in other areas. So I want to see us return to a situation where state becomes the tax collector and the regulator only, allow the landowners and the provincial governments to sign agreement as equity participants in our resource development in our country.
All right.
And the fifth one that I want to highlight is agriculture. And this is where also is my favorite subject. You know, the current agriculture department is made in such a way that there are too many commodity boards, too many CEOs within one department. You have the CEO for livestock, for oil palm, for cacao, for coffee. I want to remove all that.
Okay.
And we create desks. They become just general managers. We create desks. So we get the money from the extractive industry. We need to invest in the renewable sector. I want to revive all the coffee plantations in the islands, the tea plantations. I want to revive the cacao plantations, the copra plantations, and invest in vanilla. This is where the lifeline of our country is.
This is where Papua New Guinea needs to go.
It's like the Islands Highway. How many governments after governments have promised the people that we are going to build the Islands Highway? And I made my statement on the floor of Parliament. If it means stopping the new road projects, I will stop the new road projects. And I will make sure that the Islands Highway is built to a standard where the trucks are running. If we have to build 4-lane road leading up to the islands, to the remote parts of the islands of Papua New Guinea, because it is the lifeline of our country.
Yep.
It is the lifeline. We are building too many roads. We are forgetting about the existing roads. We need to maintain those roads, build them to the standard where they can last for 20 to 30 years.
And they sustain the economy that way
They
for you to
sustain
be
the
able to do
economy.
other things.
Islands Highway is the lifeline of Papua New Guinea.
Okay.
Roads in Bougainville. We need to improve the roads in Bougainville so they can revive the copra plantation, the cacao plantation. Roads in East New Britain and West New Britain and in New Ireland. We need to revive those. We need to fix those roads.
Okay. All right, Mr. Namah, we've heard you, your policies, and why you want to become Prime Minister. And I think here on, it's up to Papua New Guineans out there going to the ballot boxes to decide whether Belden Namah should come in with the members and to be able to be called upon to form government. So thank you for your time with us.
Thank you, Mr. Eggins.
This has been Your vote matters, an election awareness program by EMTV. The guest today was the leader of the PNG party and opposition leader, Belden Namah. We will talk to more party leaders on this program leading to polling. Keep an eye out for them, and thank you for watching this. I'm John Eggins. Bye for now.